Hi everybody, I'm here. I'm working on my pink oddbird challenge using up the pages in what I had left of those 2 paper stacks. And I've come up with these fun little books, and I thought we'd go ahead and make 1, maybe 2 together. So in that coastal paper pack, I had this really cool paper. It is linen, so it's like material, and it looks like mermaid scales. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this in half. So I'm going to measure it at 6 inches, and I'm going to cut it in half. And that is how I've come up with my size. Oh yeah, my cutter and this paper didn't get along super well. So I have 2 of these 6 by 12 pieces. Then I'm going to go and make this 9 inches. I chose 9 inches because I want to be able to use 8.5 by 11 papers cut in half. I want this to be easy and relatively fun and fast. Okay, so then we'll end up with a piece that could be a bookmark or something eventually. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to want to fold it in half. Okay, so we're going to fold it in half and see if I can find one of the bone folders. Here's one. We'll just do that. And then I put here it is. So I have this giant thing of tape. It's like a satiny tape. It might be bandage tape. I'm not sure. It's huge. It was gifted to me from Gretchen. And she put on the thing, you might be able to use this in spines. So I thought I'd try it, and so far I'm happy with it. And because I'm using my sewing machine, I'm going to go ahead and be okay with using this. So cut it right up to the edge. So we did both sides. So I have a coastal pad. I've totally taken it apart. So you may have seen the video where I even used the cover. I've even cut up the cover from the paper pads. So it's coastal, and then a Nantucket that was a hot buy. That's red and dark blue. So this came out of the coastal. Okay, it does flap open. Eventually we'll get it to where I've gotten it to where it almost stays closed. So it is definitely going to need a closure. But we can... Anyway, I'm pretty happy with that. So next we need some coffee dyed paper, and I'm getting low. Okay, that one, it's Christmas tree. You see the Christmas trees? Barely. This one that one's just circles. I'll use that one. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back up there. Grab a glue stick, and I'm going to put glue on the inside of this. I'm just using my regular glue stick. Okay. And then I'm going to take my coffee dyed paper and want to at least have it be even with one of the corners, which would make 2 sides, hopefully. How in the heck did I move it that much? Looks like the glue didn't go down. So, how is everybody out there? I think I'm on the mend. I hope that while the day that this video goes up, I'm hoping that I get to go and visit my parents. Did not get to go last week because I was sick, and you can't go visit when you're sick, especially parents that, well, my parents have illnesses that can't be around illnesses. It's not funny, but it came out funny. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this edge. And this edge. And we'll save these pieces for things inside the book, or inside a book. Okay, so the glue stick I mainly have on there just so it won't move while I'm trying to glue this down. I'll let you look at those while I'm while I'm stitching here. So here we go. And I'm just doing a zigzag stitch. I have my sewing machine right here to the right. Sorry about the noise. This is one of the things, I think the stitching makes it look nice, and it also helps hold everything together. I like the finished look that it gives. And of course, we have a broken thread. So I may go back and edit that if I have time. If not, you might still be here. So over the weekend we went and saw, we went to our fair, and our fair has, on the last weekend, this thing called the Rural Olympics, and it is competitions for all kinds of fun things that would have had to do with farming here, which farming was alfalfa originally here in the Antelope Valley. Hopefully that'll work. Okay. So it was hay stacking, hay stealing. That was hilarious. One of the couples of people came with a U-Haul truck for hay stealing. So they go to a haystack and they steal the haystack. They have to stack it in their truck and then take it over and take it to the place they're going to take it and leave it. That was funny. And then at the very end of that one, the sheriffs come in. Because, you know, if you were stealing hay, the sheriffs might come. Anyway, there is an antique car potato stabbing race. So that is antique cars, and the antique cars are like from the 70s, 60s maybe, and beyond. And there's Jeeps and all different, there was a Cadillac. Anyway, and then some like old cars. And then you have two people. You have a driver and you have someone sitting outside the front window with this long stick with I think a nail in it. And then you go along and you have to pick up 6 potatoes. And it's done by actually getting the potatoes, all 6, and time. And it's really fun. My favorite thing is the dump. You know, I don't know what it's called, but they're they've got 2 trailer dump truck thing, and they have to go and dump a pretend load, come back, Then they have to go and attach to the second trailer, pull the second trailer into the first trailer, pull away, dump it, and at the same time, everything has to be roadworthy safe. It's just, it's cool. It's down home fun. Totally down home fun. Competition. There's a strong girl farmer, ranch hand, and strong guy ranch hand, strongest. And they have to go, and the guys stack hay, 3 bales of hay on top of each other, and then they have to set up the irrigation, 3 irrigation pipes, carry 2 really heavy buckets to a wheelbarrow, and then go and I think there's onions in the wheelbarrow. Take them down and then carry the onions, and then the girls do it back, and it's just fun, down home fun. It would be even more fun if I actually knew some of the participants. That would even be more cool. So there I have my cover. I'm really happy with it. Now what I did on this one is I went ahead and I tore up one of the journaling cards that was in that one. I don't think I'm going to tear this one. I think I'm just going to put it on. And so here, let's come on over. And I'm just going to go ahead and sew it on. So just sewing it on. And I think I would probably just go ahead and keep making the covers and having the covers made. But because I'm doing the video, I'll do the whole process here. So, okay. So just zigzag stitch on. So these end up being, what are they? 4.5 by 6. So 4.5 by 6. So you could, that's the cover, because the inside is going to end up being like 4.25 by 5.5, and that way they really are a cover for the most part. We did have some creep, so that came up to the edge, and I may play with that a little bit. Okay, I'm done with the glue stick. I'm putting it away. Mark that on the calendar. So this is my next cover. And so now we're going to go ahead and put our little book together. I have picked out some papers. I have a piece of coffee dyed paper, and what I did here is I just took the 8.5 by 11 coffee dyed paper and I cut it. So if this was vertical, I cut it here at 5.5 inches, and that cut it in half. So I have 2 of those. One came out of this was probably a baked batch, and this one was probably air dried. That's the difference between those 2. I have this doily, and I cut the ends off at 5.5, and it has this pearl essence. I thought it would be kind of pretty. So one page is going to be like this, and the other page will open out. So I have that. I have this page that was out of one of my, it was in a paper pile that I had on my desk, and I just liked it, and it kind of helps to bring all the colors together in this journal that I have chosen. Here's an old paper that I have. It is the divider paper in the acetate that I have, that I had been given, that my dad gave me. And then I have this note paper, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the colorful part, because I don't think I need this really colorful strip. I'm just going to go ahead and fold it in half, and it'll be ready to be used. I also cut this. This was a 8.5 by 11 paper that I had, computer paper, and I thought it was kind of cool. It reminded me of the beach, and so I have those papers to start with, and then I'm going to use a piece of the this wallpaper border. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, oh, we'll use the machine. We'll use the machine. We'll use the cutter. So we have this shell here. I'm just going to come down to the shell and go ahead and cut it up. Okay, so it's a little bit long for my book. I know I wanted to use it. I want to use these as much as I can because I have several of them. So I'm going to go ahead and make a pocket using the bottom, the border. Make sure I'm under the 5.5. I am, okay? And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then I'm going to grab some double-sided tape, and I'm going to close these pockets off. Okay, and I want to do this before I close the book because this special one side's going to have such a small amount that it will be hard to close. It was on the other one. It was hard to close because I waited. Okay, so go ahead and take these off. Put that down. Take that off. Okay, so, and we already did our fold line, so that makes it easy to come back and just do this. So now what I'm going to do is I want to keep the whole shell on one side, and I'm just going to go ahead and make a pocket just the size of, the other page will just be the size up to the other two shells. Okay, so there we have another page to go inside of our little book. Okay, next I have the, it's kind of a funny color, but it's the mouse pad. It was a color mouse pad, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut it in half, and that will give me 2 pages to go in this little book. Okay, make sure I'm going to go ahead and cut the edges off because we're right at, yeah, I don't want to take the chance that they're going to be too long. It's going to be easier to just cut them off now. So I'm cutting about a little over 1/4 inch off each side, and that way I know I'm covered. I thought that they were kind of cool for a beachy ocean thing. They kind of remind me of seaweed. If you've ever walked along the shore and you've seen the outline of seaweed on the sand, especially on, you know, clean, clear, not disturbed sand, it reminded me of that. So I do have this little book page also, the turtle grass community, and it had some fish and starfish, and this came out of a really cool book that I purchased. I'm just going to cut off the page number. I don't think we need the page number. Okay, so we should be folding all these. And I'm okay with this ripped piece. It's going to be in the book. I think we'll go with this way. Okay, there we go, there we go. Next, I have a piece of ledger paper, and we have, I want it to go this way, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it at 5.5 inches this way. Okay. So now I have this I'll be able to use in the book somewhere else. I like the ledger paper. It's gonna look really nice in this book. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and measure this. The reason I have this black mat is I can go ahead and measure things right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, no, we want to be at 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fold this at 4 inches. Okay, and that's gonna give me 1 page. Then I'm going to come over here, and I know that I need to be right in at this line under number 28. Let's give it a pinch so I can see it. Oh, it's on this side too. Okay, so I'm going to come back. I'm going to fold that in. Okay, so that'll give me a fold out. Instead of cutting off that piece, this gives me a bigger place to write in my journal. Okay, so there we go. So there's that. So next I have this, and it's just words from the page of words. Again, this is out of Coastal, and we're trying to use it up. So I'm going to come down at 5.5, and I'm going to cut along here. That's going to give me some words. Or actually, it's a great size for a pocket. Then we're going to come this way, and this one's going to be a little bit further in. So instead of cutting it at 8.5, I'm going to come down and cut it at 8.25. And that will just help a little bit, I think, I'm hoping, with the creep. Creep is that place when you fold a bunch of paper together and it stacks. Now, I could use a metal ruler and a knife and cut that off, but you will probably never see me do that in a video. I would never want to suggest that to somebody else. So I'm going to show you other ways that you might be able to get rid of the creep. And one of them is by, I know this page is going to go in closer to the center, and so I'm going to cut it a little smaller. Okay, so next I have this great piece. This was from the Nantucket, and so, but it's white with the beige, and so it matches really well with the Coastal papers. So I'm going to use it in this book. So I'm going to come down at 5.5. And I just want to make sure that my sailboat is going to make it in, and it does, so I don't have to worry. Now, if the top of the sailboat was up here, I would probably come and cut some of the waves off so that I would get the whole piece of the sailboat. So I just wanted to put that in there so you would have that little bit of information. Now, we could do the creative folding like we did with the ledger paper, but I think on this one I'm going to go ahead and just come over. Whoop, put you up here. It's getting quite a stack up here. Come over and measure, and so at 4.25. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and crease it, and then come back, and that makes it easy for me to crease it, as long as I make sure that I'm totally lined up here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder to pull it out and then to crease it. Okay, and then I need to to cut the other piece off. So we'll just come over here, figure out where it needs to be, pull the flap, and cut it. Now we've got another really nice card that we'll be able to possibly use somewhere in this book. So looks like I think I have one more paper here, and this is this really cool plank paper. Came also from the Coastal Collection. Now, what do you think? I've been doing 5.5, and that would give me a full page. But what I'm going to do is, when paper has a plain back, a white back, one of the things I like to do is to pop it up and put a pocket on the bottom. So I'm going to put a pocket on this one. I'm going to do about 1.5. So it would have been 5.5. So I'm going to go to 7 inches and cut my paper. So this is at 7 inches. And then 12 inches is bigger than what we need. We need it at 8.5 because I don't want it extra long or anything. And so we'll go at 8.25. Okay, so this is 8.25 by 7. I get a 1.5 inch. So I'm going to come down and measure it to 5.5 inches. Okay, so I measured it to 5.5 inches, and then I put down my fingernail and I made a crease. And that's how I know where this is supposed to go. Okay. Now, I gotta hold it really tight here and make sure that we stay even on this edge. Okay. So there is my pocket. And okay. So then remember, when you have a pocket, you want to close it before you put the book together. You'll be able to go in and put pockets after your book is put together, but the ones that you know are going to be a pocket, it just makes life so much easier, especially if you're using tape. If you're using glue, it's not so bad, but if you're using the double-sided tape, and you'll see I've gone across here and into the large part as well. Oh, my allergies they feel a little better at the moment. Okay, so there I have done the double stick tape on the two, and we are going to go ahead, and this time I want the pocket on the outside. Okay, so make sure we're even. And use the bone folder. Okay, so there we have, I believe this is all of our papers that we're going to want. So we can kind of get an idea of who is where. Got our cover. Okay, so I think I like this paper, but I think it's going to, but it's going to become the center signature. I'm going to make it into a little pocket. So it'll get double-sided tape, and it'll get the round piece, I'll cut it out here, and it'll be a pocket in the center. So we can start with the center, and let's see. What I have is, we have this, okay, and then we can do this, Or, oh, no, let's do this. We need some color here in the middle. There we go, color. And coffee dyed paper. And then our ledger paper. Okay, and I'm going to do it so that the fold out comes in is towards the back. Okay, and how about this one? And then we'll try this. We're just stacking these up. The lighter paper. The fish. And oh, we still have a sailboat. Sailboat. You see how we have the creep happening? And that's okay. It's just going to be, we'll just have to check and see what it looks like with the cover. Okay, so we have that. We have the little guy. And then we have this. Okay, we have this that should have gone in. You know what? I think I'm going to save that for something else. Okay, so how are we doing here? We're pretty good. Our only creepiness is probably that coffee dyed paper right there. So the coffee dyed paper, and you know what? I think we'll go ahead and, are you still with me? Who's still with me? Say, I wish I was at the beach, if you're still with me. Put it in the comments. I wish I was at the beach. That is, if you actually like the beach. I like the beach, but I don't. I don't like the sand. It's so messy. It gets in everything. As a kid, I loved to body surf till the stupid movie Jaws came out, and then I was afraid. Like, I didn't know sharks lived in the ocean and could have been right out there my whole life, but then went and saw the movie Jaws and totally ruined my beach time. Okay. So then we're going to go through our little booklet. Check it out. I think we're good. Look it. Okay, so let's put this out of the way. Let's go through our little booklet real quick. Make sure things are in the right direction. Because sometimes, like a sailboat standing on its sail, that would not be good. Okay. Fish upside down, be okay, but probably not good. Pocket on the top, not good. Shell upside down would not be good. Words upside down. So it looks like we're good. I really, really like this. Really like it. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and find my center. Center of my little journal here. Can you believe how fast this can be put together? It just makes me go, why don't I get more made? Well, I know why, because I make videos showing you other stuff instead of just making stuff. And so there we go. There we go. Okay. So there it is inside, ready to be sewn. Okay, one. We'll come up here. Should be like, I usually do 2.5 times or so. I was just kind of gauging it. You can tell I do measure, but I don't measure. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, so I've got it threaded. I have no knot in it or anything, and I'm going to do 3 holes, and I am going to go ahead and set my holes using a thumbtack. There's really, on this, I'm not measuring to make sure that my holes are a certain distance apart. I do have some small papers in here, but not super small, and so I feel like 3 holes is plenty. If I had some smaller pages in here, then possibly I would do a 5-hole. So very, very simple. 3-hole is so easy. You just go through the center, pull it through. Okay, so I like to go up to the top. So my hole is right here. I come down and come through the center. You could just, if you feel so inclined, you could just, you don't even have to set your holes. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take this string. When I'm using especially baker's twine or something that comes apart, and I pull it towards the top of the book and then bring my needle through the bottom. So hopefully we won't have it get stuck up on each other. There, thank you. And now we're going to come in from the back and up through the book. There. Okay. So now I got it through here. Yay! I'm going to come down and I'm going to go under, and I'm going to take and tie my strings. Make sure everything's tight, and then tie my strings. So there we go. That is the binding. And take out the paper clips. And we have our little booklet. Okay, let's just go through it real quick. So there are places to put things. We'll be able to add pockets. You could just leave it like this and you have plenty of places to journal. At this place, this little pocket place here. Ah, love the seahorse. So there we have one of our little journal books. So I have 3 done so far, and so I think that's pretty exciting. I hope you enjoyed this video and these little books. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. If there's something that you'd like to see specifically, put it in the comments below. Find something to celebrate every day. I wish I was at the beach. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day. Bye.